Dude, I'm telling you, one day I want to be a YouTuber. Have I told you guys this, chat? I love streaming and all, but one day I've always wanted to become like a regular schmegular YouTuber. You know something I've always wanted to do? I want to be a... No. I realize I may have made a mistake and I probably shouldn't have said that out loud. So I'm not gonna say anything. A podcaster.
If only you had a YouTube account. I bet it would be full of hilarious videos and well-edited clips.
Yeah, you're right. Only I had one of those, am I right? You know those memes of people being like, I hope to God that your favorite YouTuber turns into a podcaster? Derogatory? I think about that sometimes, chat. It's
Let's
true
be honest,
though.
Your streams are like 9-hour solo podcasts.
It is, but it's different. You know, it's like different. Being like a proper podcaster and being like an actual podcaster is different, right? I don't know. I do want to have a podcast one day, but I don't really know who to do it with. I only have one person in mind. Here's the thing, chat, okay? When it comes to podcast, there needs to be a structure. And if I want to do a podcast, I want to do it with somebody. Like, you know how Matara has Mint for a podcast? I kind of want to have something like that. Like something with like, there's a vibe. You know what I mean? Like there's always a vibe when it comes to these things. I can't just like do it willy-nilly. I love everyone, but they're not really like podcast. The only person I would ever do a podcast with is Ollie. No joke. Like I love Numi, but I feel like sometimes my conversation with Numi gets a bit too deep. You know what I mean? Like, also, I've known Numi for a couple of months. I've known Ollie, well, lore-wise, I've known Ollie for 11 months. But in reality, I've known Ollie for like 4 fucking years. I know that bitch, okay? I know what she's thinking. I know where she is. I knew if she shits, I know she be shitting. I know her smell. I know what's inside her, outside of her, in her brain. With podcast chat, if I were to do a podcast, I'd prefer an IRL one.
Podcasts have typically have structure are short. I sincerely don't know if you know the meaning of those words.
No, like, that's the thing. Podcasts need to be like, the full version is like an hour and a half. The trim version is like 30 to 45 minutes or something like that. But with a podcast, I'd rather record it with someone together IRL. Then you can see like body language and you can see more animation, more movement, stuff like that. And it's just easier to kind of digest. You know what I mean? Compared to like if we're doing it in call, you can hear me go like, but then, you know, you don't actually see how much I'm like cackling, right? Or like, you don't know my facial expression. Like, oh, you can't really see that. And because we're VTubers, not everything tracks beautifully. You know what I mean? Like, it tracks well, but not as well as if you just see a person, a human person being. So if I did do a podcast, I would do it VTuber, but I wouldn't record it offline. So the only person I would generally do a podcast with is Ollie. I think podcasts are very different. You know, it's different from just a just yapping stream. But I'd like to be a YouTuber one day. Or someone that makes videos instead of streams. But I feel like I'm a better streamer than I am a video. I saw one comment when I said the only person that I ever considered doing a podcast with was Ollie. I saw a comment where it's like, then join Hololive. You're right. You are correct. I can do that. Surely. I won't. But as much as I love Hololive, it's different, you know? Oh, I keep saying this, chat. It's different. Some people aren't meant to be in Corpo. That's the best I could say. You see people...
Is there something that prevent people from joining 2 company?
From Vshojo, no. Like, in Vshojo, I could technically join whatever I want and still be in Vshojo, but it's not like it's not a bad thing. I know people say this and people are like aware. It's not bad. Some people are just not built for Corpo life. That's just what it is. When it comes to it depends on the Corpo itself, but some Corpos need structure, you know? Like when it comes to having Corpos, chat, right? And the moment you start having it as an actual legit business, and when I say legit, I mean you have to sign legal papers and shit, you're getting deals and everything, that's when you need structure. Like, being a whimsical, fun human being is great and all, but without structure, you collapse. Michi. When it comes to businesses, chat, you need structure. And I feel like some streamers don't like that. Does that sound bad? I'm just a girl in a girl world, right? But if structure is required of me, I am very structured. You know what I mean? Like, I can be all like, haha, hee hee, I click go live and I yap nonstop and I talk about shit every now and then. But if let's say it's like, okay, Michi, you need to lock in. This is the deal. This is what's required and this is what you have to do. Bro, I need to lock in because, well, PR answer is because I care. But genuine, somewhat more PR, but honestly, truthfully, I don't want to get into issues. You know what I mean? When you say yes, if I'm like, hey chat, yes, I'm gonna be playing Monster Hunter. Let's say like, oh chat, I'm gonna be playing Monster Hunter tomorrow. It's different compared to if I signed a legal paper stating I will do it. You know, one thing is like, you can still kind of be like, I don't feel like it. The other one is you have to do it. So you don't want responsibilities. It's not that I don't want responsibilities, but I like to consider those ones I take. Like, I'm the type of person that if I say yes, I will do it. But because of that, I try to be very careful because sometimes you don't want to overpromise. You know what I mean? You don't want to be like, yes, and then you can't actually do it. Now, that's kind of fucked, right? And like, if it's just word of mouth, yes, then whatever. Not saying to take it lightly, but you don't actually get into any legal problems compared to if you signed a contract stating you said yes. In every job, structure is always needed. And that's when it gets a bit blurry when your job is about creativity. Because structure and creativity doesn't really go hand in hand all the time, right? When someone's like, oh, you have to do this, and you don't really feel like it, it's really hard to be creative doing it compared to if you really, really want to do it. It's not bad, but I feel like some people aren't built for that life. Like, some people aren't built to be like, yes, there is structure, but you can still be as creative as you possibly can. Some people see that as shackles, and some people actually see that as comfort. I know some people that if a place doesn't have structure, they kind of feel very uncomfortable about it. But I know some people that the moment a place has structure, they kind of feel restricted or binded and they don't like it as much, right? So I come from, like, my background is more corpo. So I am very, very used to structure. But give me freedom and I'm very happy about it. That's where I think it differs. Vshojo gives me a lot of freedom. And they also give me a lot of opportunities. And I'm not gonna lie, chat, a lot of the stuff I get, like sponsors or deals, they're very, very flexible. And I'm allowed to just kind of do whatever I want, say whatever I want, like be honest about it. But when I'm given the freedom to do something, at first I was a bit nervous. You know, like when I first debuted it, I was like, oh, am I allowed to do this? Am I allowed to do that? Nowadays, I'm kind of embracing it a little bit more. But if you need me to be more structured, I can be. Papa is asking for you. What do you want from me, Papa Mutt? Oh, shit. What do you want from me?
Hello, real quick. I just want to borrow you for 10 seconds. That's okay?
No.
Okay, well, I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna do my best Ironmouse impression. Is that okay for you?
Okay, do it. Ooh, Ironmouse.
Hello there, it's me, Ironmouse. The dude who for $5 a month you can subscribe to Michi Mochievee on Twitch.tv.
Anyways, chat. Ooh, wow, that's so good, you guys. No way.
Why the fuck is she British?
Why the fuck is she British? I have a question, but answer me super honestly, right? Like really, really honestly, chat. Don't feel bad. There's no right or wrong answers. But if you're wrong, I'm gonna ban you. Do you consider Vshojo as a corpo? I'm curious. Would you say, if I'm like Vshojo is a corpo, would you be like, yeah or no? No, 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 yes, yes. No, 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 kinda. No, yes, yes, no, yes, no, 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 really. In my opinion, chat, I know that a lot of people don't see Vshojo as like a corpo. You know what I mean? Like, I know a lot of people see like, oh, Vshojo is just like glorified indie group. But even then, I don't think it fits for everybody. Like, I feel like there would be some people that would be very not happy here. It depends on the vibe. Don't cancel me for this opinion. But I don't think Vshojo is very well structured.
I constructs beings created by melody.
Don't tell anyone, man. I told you that in private. Shh. I don't think Vshojo is very structured. But maybe it's because I came from a place that's very, very structured, right? But in my eyes, I think Vshojo is not structured. And I feel like it may be a different vibe. Someone tell him. it's not a bad thing. You know, people think it's like, just because you're not something, you're bad. You can't have everything. You know, Vshojo is great. I love Vshojo. I love being here. I love everything here. It's just sometimes they give a little bit too much freedom. You know what I mean? And sometimes people don't know what to do with that. Like, some people need more direction, especially people that are new. Like, people that just started or people that need guidance. I wouldn't, like, in Vshojo, it's kind of like, we'll support you and you can do whatever you want. And if you're the type that needs, like, guides or like, oh, help me, like, I don't know what to do, they can help you, like, tech-wise. But not like, oh, you have to say this on stream and you have to do that on stream, right? So in that sense, it's not as structured. But sometimes, like, I can give you an example. In a quote-unquote structured Corpa, usually you have very strict, long books worth of rules of what you can and cannot say, do, and act. You also have a big book of telling you what you can play, what you can watch, what you can listen to, what you can comment on. These are the things that some people feel like, oh, I feel restricted. It's not my vibe. That's why sometimes you hear like, oh, I feel like I'm restricted. Some people are okay with that because if you draw like a hard line of like, I don't know what to do, and then here are what you can do, you feel safer. But people that kind of just want to explore things, it doesn't give you that much room, right? So it really depends. I genuinely think some people aren't built for
Vshojo is
it.
a Corpo whose structure is freedom. Creative freedom for selected talent that can handle the freedom. Doesn't it vary from talent to talent? There's a big difference between Mouse and Heim's schedule as much as I love them both.
It does. Like, it varies, but our schedule is up to us. Like, if let's say one day I'm like, hey chat, I'm just not gonna stream anymore, and I stop streaming, that'll be fine. You know, like, oh, I'm just gonna go on a break, that's fine. But sometimes...
The best way I can describe Vshojo is manager for hire.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, everything is up to us. Vshojo is an American Corpa, so a very different culture and structure, but still Corpa. It is still Corpa, but it's very, very free. No, it's very, very free. If you don't know what to do, like, for example, the best way to describe it, right? Mouse streams a lot. Like, me and Mouse, we both stream a lot. The difference is, I post my schedules, Mouse don't. Like, Mouse goes live whenever. I post my schedules, and I go live at the designated time that I wrote on my schedule. Right? So that's kind of the difference. Why can we do that? Well, it's up to us. I like schedules. That is like the only glimpse of structure that I have going on. Everything else is literally like, go fucking nuts. You know what I mean? Like, I can talk about whatever. I can watch whatever I want. Whatever. Right? Like, we'll support you, but whatever you do for how long and when is up to you. If you want to do it, if you don't, it's up to you. So if you want to like keep the same model forever, go off. If you want to have like 20 models this month, you can do it. So it's very different, but it's not like old habits die hard.
I prefer the vibes that Vshojo gives off. You're all experienced streamers who know what you're doing and don't need your hands held as much.
Yeah.
Watching people get constantly shoved in directions that don't fit for them is a drag to watch.
I think that's one reason why Vshojo is good for the talents here. The talents here have the best way I can describe it, chat, compared to everyone. And this is not just like, oh, it's because I just spawned in 11 months ago. No, compared to everyone, Vshojo, I have the least amount of experience. And that's the truth. People have so much experience in this place. And it's not like I'm alone. You know, like sometimes I get curious. I would ask them, like we talk to each other. We would ping pong ideas. Sometimes I just fucking watch their videos and steal their ideas. Oh, God. But, yeah, what is content if not slight stealing every now and then? You know, oh, Mouse plays this game. Let me just play that game. That looks fun. So it's a game. It's whatever.
Thanks,
but even with my lack of experience, I still have a lot of experience. Compared to people that have like no experience at all, you may feel a little overwhelmed, right? Like I keep telling people this. Some people are like, I want to join Vshojo. You are aware that you will feel slightly overwhelmed. And that's just the truth. Because like the shit we know, we've known this because we've been in this world for so long. But we can't just like
most
info
feel
dump.
Like a group of co-workers, but for the most part Vshojo feels like a group of friends.
Yeah, that's why I do like Vshojo. It's very free, you know, like you can do whatever you want, right? But if let's say you have no experience, we can't just info dump on you. We can't just be like, oh, by the way, essaying, like, come on now. You're not gonna be able to handle that, and if you think you can, well, even I can't. Alright, most of the time, it's not that like you have to do everything, it's just you need to know what to do. Ooh, I have something to tell you, but it might sound a little asshole-ish, But it's like one of my biggest concerns. From a scale of 1 to 10, how honest do you want me to be? Ooh, I'm gonna get canceled today. Cinema! 10. 2! I have no concerns whatsoever. 2? Okay, let me open my little... How to respond to this. 0, my biggest fear is in Vshojo, you get a platform, right? When you debut in Vshojo, they promote you a lot. A lot of people talk about you. We as like members also like talk about you. We rate into you. You have a platform. You're not starting from nothing, right? But some people can't handle that so fast. Like, you need to kind of build up on it. You know what I mean? Like, if let's say you start from like nothing and then suddenly you got so much, some people may kind of break under that amount of pressure because yeah, it's like, yeah, you get like the spotlight and then you freeze up because whether you like it or not, there's always gonna be people online that don't like you very much. That's fair, you know? And sometimes if let's say best case scenario, everyone loves you. No one doesn't like you, everyone loves you. Eventually, someone's not gonna like you. Our job is to talk and sometimes you say something and some people may not like it. And another thing is fame changes people, all right? Like it fucks up your head. I've seen way too many cases of that shit.
You don't need to make a schedule or have arbitrary rules when and what you can't stream in Vshojo, at least from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Vshojo doesn't feel like the standard Corpo in the current market, but I guess it technically is. Other corpos don't know how to handle their talents and some do aware.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I like schedules because I forget. Like, sometimes if I don't have a schedule, it's either I don't stream or I stream every single day. Because I forget when I streamed and when I didn't. So a schedule helps me. And it also helps you. But some people don't like schedules and that's completely fine. Pick up the phone. Oh no! Is this the real Ironmouse? Oh my god, my Discord's all broken. Well. If it isn't...
Well.
I know you're Papa
isn't
Mutt.
she British?
Why the fuck is she... Why is she not British? Hi there, Mousy.
Schedule suck balls, eat my ass.
I like schedules! Why? Okay, wait, actually, why don't you like schedules?
That's a VTuber thing. Streamers never had schedules. They would be like, I'll be live whatever the fuck I want. But like VTubers are like, we're scheduling every single minute of the day all the time. Okay, guys? Okay, guys? And it's just like...
Oh yeah, schedules suck!
Bro, what if I don't want to do that shit now? What if I want to do something else? You know?
Dude, why do you think I put my schedule like, huzzah?
I like the way you do schedules because it's like, I don't know, IDK, whatever I feel like. You know
my schedule is just to tell people I'm going live at this time, but my content is just like, no way guys, another day? What does that mean, thinking? But actually, you have been here for a very long time, Mouse. I was telling chat that I think some people ain't built for the Corpo life. I don't mean it in a bad way. I mean it like, different Corpos are different, right? Sometimes, it's a bit too... It's not the best, you know what I mean?
It's like when I joined Vshojo, I was like, I was afraid to join because I was like, I can't join a corpo. I'm a sick person and I've never been with responsibilities. I can't do this. This is something I can't do. Blah 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 blah. And then I joined and I was like, wait, I think I can kind of do this.
Yeah, same. I told chat, okay? Chat's saying this is a warm take, but sometimes I'm still scared of like what to say and what not to say.
I just want to tell you something. I know one time you had a dream that you were somebody else, but I'm glad you're Michi Mochievee.
Okay, not gonna lie though, I feel like that dream has equipped me with enough. You know what? Like I kind of understand enough to get by. But I told chat this. Sometimes when you don't have enough experience, right? And then the spotlight gets shined on your face, you're like, it's so scary. Like, you don't know what to do with that. And then there's so much pressure. And I know people say this, like, on stream, people are like, oh, you know, everyone's great, right? Sometimes, chat, when it comes to work, there always will be some people who are competitive. And sometimes it fucking eats them up. Like, that just adds to the brain worms. You know, like, am I competitive? No, because I'm medicated most of the time. Maybe if I'm sober, I would be. But I'm not. But some people, they're like, oh my god, for example, it's like, oh my god, Mouse is doing this and she's so much better than me. I suck. I'm so bad. It's like,
oh, roundhouse kick anybody who says that.
But you know, some people would. I've had people say that and I'm like,
and they could eat a lot of caca and they could fucking eat shit and jump off a bridge in Minecraft.
Why are you so... Oh my god. See, this is what... Chat, this is Zooted Mouse, Zooted Mouse, this is chat. This is sober. Chat, this is sober mouse. That I feel... I'm coming from like, I feel bad. You know, because like, I feel like that's unhealthy for your brain. Like for someone to feel like they're so bad all the time because they compare themselves to unrealistic expectations. That can't be healthy for you, man. And sometimes they get famous and they change. And I'm just like,
That's true.
oh. Every time it happens, I die inside a little bit. I'm just like, I know that this would happen, but I kind of hope it didn't.
I still think I suck.
Dude, okay, oh my god. I'm so glad you say that because I still feel the same too. Like,
I still think I suck, and I still think I'm a piece of shit, and I think
You
that
don't
everything
suck,
I do
though.
is trash.
you don't suck, but I understand how it feels. Like, I can't ever... I can't say no to Mouse because like... I'll be like, no, don't feel that way. And Mouse is like, oh, but how do you feel? And I'm like, oh, fuck me, clock me. Like,
Same way.
clock me on that one. Every streamer feel like they suck. That's the joy, you know, that humbles you. That's the joy, that's the excitement of streaming. If you feel like you've done everything and you're the best, what else are you gonna do? That's boring as fuck. You know, sometimes you just gotta feel like, oh man, I'm not good enough. Just a little bit. Not to the point where it kills you, but just to the point that it keeps you a little humble, right? Like just a good amount. But some people can't balance that yet because they haven't experienced it. Like I used to be like that. And then I learned, I knew better. But then it takes a very long time and like a natural progression thing to get to that point of like, you have to be able to filter your brain worms, you know? And when you don't have the experience, what the fuck are we gonna do? Like, I can't just tell you to do that. You gotta have to do it yourself. I keep saying this. I feel like as a concept, joining a corpo, great. But in practice, it's not great. I've seen a lot of people break under the pressure. There's also like expectations. My chat is very nice and they're like, oh, we don't expect that much of you. Well, now that sounds like an asshole thing to say. It's true. I mean, yay, Copium, that's so nice of you.
So much from you.
My chat doesn't expect anything from me because they're nice. Oh, Copium
Well, you
feels so
should tell
good.
them that you expect a lot from them.
I do. I expect them to... I think, honestly, the active chatters will always say they don't expect. Like, they'll be like, oh, take your time, chill. But there's always gonna be people that would... Like, they won't be in your chat, obviously, but they'll be like, oh, I kind of want this. You didn't do that. You know what I mean? There's always gonna be people like that. And I do notice some people read what these people have to say, right? And then it kills them. Like, it eats them up in their head. So...
That's true. You shouldn't.
yeah, that's why, chat.
Don't do that.
But it takes time. And you can't just say, like, don't do it, because they will subconsciously do it. Like, you can't, like, no matter how much you say, like, oh, some people suck, it's fine. Like, there's always gonna be 1% from your community that doesn't like you. And if you have, like, 10 people, then that's not really... That's probably not there. But when you have, like, 10,000, that's a lot of people that don't like you. But some people focus on that 1%, and you can't just say, like, oh, don't look at them, because they will. So that's why sometimes I feel like you need to learn how to progress, you know? Just slowly transition, slowly get used to it, feel it out a little bit, and deal... Like, slow growth is better than instant growth. I always will say that, though. Like, instant boosts of fame, I've seen that shit eat people up. I don't know.
I wanna eat.
Yo, that's
No.
big. Oh my god, have you... That's deep, Ironmouse. Wow.
I feel like I'm melting.
I have something to say, but I'm gonna clock Mouse so hard with it.
Oh, I take showers.
No, it's not about showers. It's about how you talk. I'm gonna clock you, girl. I will. Friendship over. You know how
Okay.
sometimes Mouse is like, fuck 'em. Fuck you, patooey. But then she's... You're like the sweetest, most like, I think we all should love each other.
Oh no, my reputation. No.
Sometimes I'm like, oh my god, Mouse, I'm big madding right now. And Mouse is like, Michi, it's okay. Sometimes, you know, bad things happen. It's alright, Michi. I'm here for you. Just, you know that stop fighting emote? That's like Mouse. She's like, stop fighting. But then sometimes I would see clips of Mouse being like, I think they suck. Ooh, patooey. I'm like, nah.
And then I'm like, I'm gonna kill myself. Get my crap. it's just like, I know what it's like to suffer and to have terrible shit happen and have like really bad times that I'm just like, I just want everybody to be happy and have love and have fun, and because I know what suffering is like, and I don't want people I care about to suffer.
Oh, but then she acts all tough. She's like,
And then I'm like,
I'm gonna get you. Why are you wanna? She is so sweet. And then she doom posts. Oh my god. I'm gonna tell chat something crazy. You wanna know a crazy Ironmouse fact? Sometimes I'm in trouble. You know, sometimes Mouse gives the benefit of the doubt to too many people. And you know what's worse? I do the same. So
oh, it's bad.
like sometimes we're like, oh, I mean,
It's so bad.
we're just like, oh, that's fine, right? And Mouse is like, yeah, that's fine. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, no, maybe that's fine. But then we have people around us that are like, that's not fine. And we're like, no, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, maybe it is fine. It'll be fine, right, guys? It'll be fine.
And then we sit there being like, oh, what? A person is not fine? Uh-oh.
Gulp. I just want to believe in the good in people. I feel like sometimes I'm like, I may act like I'm not optimistic, but I really am. I try to be as optimistic as I can, because I feel like people deserve to have a second look or to give them the benefit of the doubt. But sometimes you can't do that.
The best way to describe it is Mouse is very pessimistic to herself, but optimistic to everybody else, though.
Oh, that's so true. Uh-oh. Gulp.
Gulp. That's a weird part. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, Mouse, another day. And she's like, another day to my death. But if I say that, she's gonna be like, no, don't you dare say that. You're gonna live forever.
Say that to yourself.
I've had my fair share of shit like that. And honestly, would I do it again? Yes. But did I learn my lesson?
Kind of, maybe.
Maybe. Listen, chat, sometimes I agree with Miles where it's like, people deserve a second chance. You know this, I've said this a lot. Like, people deserve a second chance. But I know sometimes, like, you just have to give up, right? Like, sometimes there's no saving it.
If it starts to become, like, a danger to yourself and your mental health and stuff, it's okay to walk away. But sometimes it's hard to recognize that sometimes you just have to walk away.
That's true.
It's hard, because you feel like, what if I walk away and this time? It's different this time.
Oh.
So then you're like, you don't want to walk away. You want to be there, and you wanna try, you know. But sometimes, most of the time, that's not true.
Yeah, but like, how do you know? Like, oh my god.
You just don't know.
You know another fun Ironmouse fact? You know she types with dots.
I do. Oh my god, it's so bad.
This is the best way to be. Mouse would be like, let's call dot. And then she'd call me and I'm like, oh my god, what happened? And Mouse is like, hi, I'm currently playing this game. Would you like to play with me? And I'm like, why did you type with a dot though? And she's like, hello, dot. Let's call dot. And I'm like, oh my god, she's angry. She's big mad. She's not. She literally... Oh, that's one thing I can't stand with you and Connor. I can't. Because Mouse types with a dot and Connor unironically types with haha. Lower caps and H-A-H-A.
He does. No joke.
But like, that's like his like capital ha 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 ha. That's like his ha 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 ha. But he goes ha ha lowercase. That's it.
He also dots like a lot.
I didn't know it was bad, but then chat pointed it out and it's like, if someone types with a dot, it's scary. So then I kept that in mind. And then I spoke to these two and I'm like, uh-oh, am I in trouble?
And because he ha-has, I started ha-haing.
Oh my god! Do you do XD?
I do XD now. It's crazy because like when I met Connor, he would XD and I'm just like,
he does?
What the fuck? Yeah, he XD'd me once and I'm just like, what the hell?
The first time I messaged Connor, he went haha XD and I sat there and I was like, weep! No, I was like, what? Who types like that? But then he does. I also picked up some of my typing patterns from Kuro, right? You can tell because I barely respond at all. So every time Mouse is like, oh yeah, I spoke to Connor the other day, and I'm like, man, how comes you have nice British man friend? Why is my British friend suck ass? What the fuck is this shit? Bro, you know my last message, let me check. Oh, it was yesterday because
You gotta train. Gotta train the British man.
how? He doesn't fucking respond. And I ain't doing that.
Gotta make him respond. You gotta write something so crazy that is like, what the fuck?
Oh my god,
And
you know
make
I've
him
done that?
respond.
Wait, when you say crazy, what do you mean crazy?
Like not crazy like negative, but crazy like, oh, confusing.
I'm pregnant.
No.
All right. Okay, when you
Like,
say crazy?
Not dramatic where it's like he worries about you, but like crazy that's like confusing where it makes him go like, oh.
Ah, you see, I've done that. You know what Kuro responds?
Uh-oh. Nothing?
My god, it's like you read my mind. It's like you fucking read. He would respond like a month later with a game link. Or he goes,
God.
oh my god, you wanna know one thing that he actually said to me one time? I think I told some friend, like we have like a server, right? And then like this was before I started streaming. We had a server and I was like, nah man, I'll be going through it. You know, like I'm like, I think during this time, Vshojo just approached me and I had like big imposter syndrome. So I was like, am I good enough for Vshojo? So then I didn't want to tell everyone that I got approached. So I was like, I don't know, man. It's like, I don't know whether I'm being realistic or this is brainworm, right? And then Kuro messaged me being like, yo, you good? And then I go, nah, man. And I thought because Kuro's in Vshojo, I can technically tell him, but I also don't know if it's like okay or not to tell him. So I was like, oh, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of things and I'm not sure if like I can say something, but I'm not sure if I can tell you, but I really want to tell someone. I really want to talk about it to someone, but I don't know if I can tell you. And then he responds with, damn, GG, I guess. That's it! I'm like, whoa! Okay. Well, I'll go fuck myself. Yeah, he goes, GGIG.
What the fuck?
He's like, I was like, oh my god. I thought, you know, maybe if I said it like that, he'd be like, you can tell me. You know what I mean? Like, you can tell me, I'll keep it a secret. Like something. But no, he goes like, GGIG. And I'm like, okay, lol. And he's like, what? If you can't tell me, just don't tell me, five head. And I'm like, okay, well, that's fair. That's fair. Fuck you too.
Oh, he's so blunt.
He is.